Hello and welcome. This is Chay Hofileña and this is your 6 p.m. wrap. Re-electionist Senator Serge Osmeña says electing Senator Bongbong Marcos as vice president will show low moral standards of the Philippines. Osmeña adds, quote, "If Hitler had a son and the son came back now 50 years after to run for president of Germany, I'm sure they will never let him." Osmeña was imprisoned for 5 years during the authoritarian rule of Bongbong's father, Ferdinand. When asked if the senator will be a dictator, Osmeña hints the son could just be like his father, a view that even President Benigno Aquino expressed. In response to the United Nations tough sanctions on North Korea's fourth nuclear test and rocket launch, Pyongyang fired 6 short-range projectiles into the sea. South Korea says the projectiles fell 100 to 150 kilometers off the North's eastern coast. It's still unclear whether they were missiles or rockets. The new UN sanctions include inspection on all cargo going into and coming from North Korea in all airports and seaports, banning coal and iron exports and rocket fuel imports, and expulsion of North Korean diplomats engaged in smuggling. A total of 16 people are now added to the blacklist. The resolution ushers in the 5th set of sanctions since the North's first atomic device test in 2006. The European Union launches an emergency aid plan for Greece. The plan presents the first time humanitarian aid is used within Europe instead of outside the bloc. The funds will be given over 3 years with $325 million in 2016 and 200 million euros in the following years. Greece is the main entry point for 1.13 million migrants since the start of 2015. UN figures show over 100,000 migrants crossed the Mediterranean to reach Europe this year, more than the total for the first 5 months of 2015. HBO denounces Manny Pacquiao's anti-gay marriage comments but will still televise his fight against Tim Bradley on April 9. HBO calls Pacquiao's remarks, quote, insensitive, offensive, and deplorable. The network also clarifies they will proceed to produce and distribute that event, but its stand on his remarks remains the same. Pacquiao, who's running for Philippine senator, described couples in same-sex unions as worse than animals. He has since apologized. All 11 Filipino tycoons featured in Forbes' 2015 billionaires list remain in this year's list, but most of them drop in ranking. Henry C. is still the richest Filipino, gaining 2 spots but sliding to $12.9 billion from $14.2 billion. Others on the list: John Gokongwei Jr., Lucio Tan, George T., David Consunji, Andrew Tan, Enrique Razon Jr., Lucio and Susan Ko, Robert Coyuto Jr., Manny Villar, and Tony Tan Cactiong. Cactiong is the only Philippine businessman who climbed the ranks with a net worth of $2.7 billion in 2015 to $3 billion in 2016. Microsoft founder Bill Gates, who tops Forbes' list for 17 consecutive years, also dropped in net worth at $75 billion from $79.2 billion. That's your 6 p.m. wrap. Watch our updates daily at 12 noon and 6 p.m. I'm Chay Hofileña. Remember, tomorrow begins today.